This is the plaintiff, Leslie Piatilla. She says she moved from Oregon to New York and into the defendant's apartment, which she paid for in advance. And when she got there, she was horrified. There was no working sink, no access to a kitchen, and the landlord let himself in whenever he wanted. She got out of there lickety-split. The defendant won't refund her money, and she's suing him here and now for every penny of the $2,100 she's owed. This is the defendant, Wilfred Jean-Francois. He says the plaintiff lived there for 3 days and then told him she found a better place for her and her dog and moved out. She doesn't understand how life works because you can't just decide to leave and expect all your money back. He's sorry, but he doesn't owe her all this money. He's accused of lousy landlording. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $500 for wasted time.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff moved from Oregon to New York and could not believe the apartment that she rented. The sink wasn't even working, but the defendant says she lived there until she found a better place. It's the case of the Oregon Trail.
Thank you, Douglas. Leslie Piatilla?
Yes, actually.
You are suing Wilfred Jean-Francois?
Yes, ma'am.
I wanted to do well both times. For $2,100 that you say he owes you in rent that you paid him, security deposit, and aggravation. You are counterclaiming against her $500 for wasted time. I wonder how that compares to aggravation. Okay, what's going on? Talk to me.
Yes, so I've been planning to go to Hofstra University to go to college, and I've been planning and saving for the last year, working 2 jobs back home in Oregon. And I found a place with Wilfred, and the original place was $750 for rent, and it looked pretty well. Right before I sent the security deposit, he said someone else got that room or that place I was going to stay. So he told me there's this other one that he had that was in a basement for $600 a month. And then I asked, okay, do I need to pay the same security deposit? Yes. We did a video chat. He showed me it. It looked like it had a working sink, everything, like stuff down there. And I was great because it had a yard that I thought I would get to use because I have a Siberian Husky, which is why I'm not living.
You're bringing a dog to college? You brought a dog to college?
I did. He was my 21st birthday present. He's very well loved with me, and so I was bringing him, which is why I was living off campus and saving up extra so I could afford it because I have an at-home job that came with me. So when I ended up finding with there, it looked like.
Did you discuss that with him that you had a Siberian Husky?
I did, and
okay.
He said it was okay for me to bring the dog. So I ended up moving cross country, driving 4 days from Oregon to New York with my sister, my mom, and my niece and nephew. They moved with me, so we drove all the way to here. And when we get there, we had to wait a little while for Wilfred to get there, which was no problem. It was on April 20th, and I ended up going in, and he ended up moving the sink out of the way.
What do you mean?
It wasn't hooked up. Nothing was there. I was like, oh, okay, there's no sink. All there was is a bathroom, and had like a paper curtain, and it was just like, you know.
It had like a what?
A paper curtain type thing, and it was a dirty bathroom. I mean, I was okay with the basement. I didn't know it was illegal until after. But yeah, and I wasn't allowed to go upstairs. I was not even
What do you mean you weren't allowed to go upstairs?
There was a family living in the upper part of the house, like the main part of the house. And I was never introduced to the family, but I was told I'm not allowed to go in there, and I'm also not allowed to use the yard, which threw me for a loop because I have a Siberian Husky, and the yard keeps it so that he doesn't get cooped up. And
do you have a written lease with him that you looked at in Oregon that allowed you use of the yard?
We didn't have a written lease.
Did you have email communications with him from Oregon where he told you, yes, of course, you get to use the yard?
I don't have any communication where he said I could use the yard. I said, oh, it's great, you have a yard. It wasn't. He's like, no. Yes, but he never said.
He didn't say, yeah, but it's off limits to you,
no.
But you didn't say, can I use it?
Exactly. Okay. I should have clarified, which I did realize.
When you say it's illegal, how did you find out that it was illegal?
Does
it have a kitchen?
It didn't have a kitchen.
Okay.
No.
Does it have a kitchen?
No.
So it's illegal?
Well, I told her from the beginning, Your Honor. The place that I was renting to her was in Brooklyn. But,
the original place?
Yes.
But you ended up renting that to somebody else?
Yes.
Did the first place have a kitchen?
Yeah, the first place is legal. It's what?
The first floor apartment. I didn't hear what you said.
It's an apartment.
Right, so it's legal,
yes,
is
yes.
what you said.
But what happened is she begged me, said, oh, you know what, I have to move. Do you have another place? I have to move. I told her clearly, well, I have another place in Long Island. She said, oh, that would be great because I'm planning to go to Austria. Okay, I said, well, if you want, I will prepare a room for you there. The basement is not rented, actually. But now, she said, okay, no problem. I said, okay. We went and I did a Skype video call with her, and I showed her the basement. And she said, oh, that's great. But she never mentioned, Your Honor, that she had the dog. I never knew about the dog. If you would go through the emails.
Yeah, I'd like to go through the emails. Do you have the emails?
I do have all the text messages, and I have it on my
Text
phone
and
as
email.
well.
That big dog she had. But yeah, that wasn't even a problem. After she moved
In the text, does it talk about the dog?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I would have to flip through it back.
But are
I
you
did.
testifying that you told them you have a dog?
Oh, yes.
I should hope
yes,
so because
yes.
pretty much she wants a place to put her head down at, and she can't just show up with a Siberian Husky without somebody knowing
I
about
never
it.
knew about it, Your Honor.
I don't believe you.
Well,
But
check
more
the
important,
email.
more importantly, can I just ask you,
Yes,
if
Your
you're
Honor.
not allowed to rent it out, what are you keeping her money for? Yeah, how much money
Well-
did you pay him?
A total of $1,900.
Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so go ahead.
When
By the way, you end up finding another place to live within 3 days, right?
Yes, actually, someone I originally spoke with the year before when I was originally going to move, but I needed to save up money a little bit more before coming. So I worked 2 jobs back home. I could have waited longer
God
to move.
bless you. Can I send my kids to you just for a little while?
Yeah. I worked like 80 plus hours a week saving up for the money and kind of short now to pay anything that I have.
So that person calls you out of the blue?
No, I actually called him and I said, okay, so I'm here. I told him my situation and I was panicking.
Why didn't you want to live there? What happened that you didn't want to live there?
The final straw was...
The first straw was what?
The first straw was there was no sink set up, and then I didn't know I couldn't use the yard. So I was like, oh, okay.
How did you find out you couldn't use the yard?
He told me when I got there, because my sister and mom was there, and my mom asked if we can use the yard, and said no, and she told me. I'm like, wait, oh, okay. Well, I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll deal with it.
That's kind of you not being clear, but go on.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I
All right.
don't have the yard.
But then the last straw was...
When we went in New York City to see the sights, I left my dog because we didn't want to leave him in a hot car or can't really take him on trains. So we left him there, and if I would have known he was coming, I would have locked him in the room. Then I got a call when we were in New York City seeing the sights, spending some time before they left to go back home. And he called saying that my dog got out. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean my dog got out? He had walked in without letting me know. And thank God he was able to somehow get my dog into the fenced yard they had and closed it. And as soon as he called me, I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. I'm like, he just walked in unannounced. My dog could have got hit by a car because there is a main road right around the corner.
Could it have gotten out outside of the yard?
Yeah, because the back door, you can see in the picture.
Okay, but go on. So go on.
One of the pictures, it shows that it's a back entrance that's not part of the fenced yard. So the fenced yard goes like this part of the house, and then here's the back entrance. So it's no fenced yard there. So he had got out that way. I don't know how he got by.
All right, so go on.
him.
So you come home and you've kind of had it.
I had it, and so on the way back, I actually called the landlord that I had spoke with the year prior.
And found another apartment, and you happy there?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
very.
great. So then you ask him, you want your money back, and what does he tell you?
So if the lease doesn't say anything about a dog, can the tenant have a dog or not?
Yes, he can, or she can.
So you can have a dog unless the landlord says no.
No, I think they should get it cleared through the landlord first.
Okay, who's going to be the tiebreaker? Can you have a dog if the lease says nothing?
If the lease doesn't say anything and you have a dog, then you can always fall back on the lease didn't say you couldn't.
I thought you were going to say you give the dog away. God, thank God you going inside the courtroom.
He tells me that he won't give me my money back. The only thing he would do, he said he'd give me $750 when I...
Why $750?
Yes, Your Honor. $750 because that was a security deposit. She paid
But
for
then
the
you would be
first-
keeping how much in rent?
I will be keeping now $1,150 because she paid the first and the last month. And
Hold
when
on
she
one second.
called
Hold
me,
on. Stop. How much is the rent?
$600.
Okay. So she was $50 short on paying the first in the last month.
Yes.
But why would you be able to keep 2 months?
Well, because the plan was, the deal I had with her, she paid the first and the last month and the security. The $750 security was for the place I was $750 in Brooklyn. She sent it to me anyway. I kept it because I know she's going to be living there, so that's her money anyway when she moves out.
Let me just ask you a question. So your answer is, I'm willing to give her $750 in security. But I'm not willing to give her first and last month's rent.
Well,
because I'm keeping the rent. Because what? You can't keep the rent because you're not allowed to rent the place.
Well, but
so why are you keeping it?
But we had an agreement.
So we had okay. I just want you to imagine something. We're gonna try something different to see if maybe you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay? Listen to me. She sells you cocaine, and then the cocaine, when you test it, feels a little too stepped on for you. So you look at her and you say, "This is not a quality product." Don't nod like you know what I'm talking. This is not a quality product. And I want my money back. And then you come to court and you ask me to use my long arm of the law to help you to not get ripped off by her for the stepped-on coke that she sold you. Do you think that courts, as a public policy, are going to agree to get involved in something that the law does not allow in order for you to keep the money on your side? Here, let me finish that for you. No. No. So on your counterclaim against her, 0. And on your claim against him, what you're entitled to is the $1,900 that you paid him, plus your court costs and the good story you will have to tell at Hofstra. Good luck.
Well, the defendant loses both on the original case and the countersuit. Mr. Jean-Francois, this was not a good day for you in court, was it?
Not at all.
Did you learn anything from all of this?
Well, I did know about the basement, but she agreed to move then because I kind of accommodated.
Legally, you couldn't
I was
rent.
helping her out so she can move to New York. That's what I was doing.
Well,
Because the original place.
Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Well, yes,
Sorry about that.
It's okay, no
Officer
problem.
McIntosh has some documents you must sign. Now, Leslie's on her way out of the courtroom. Hey, you're smiling.
Yes.
You happy?
I am.
The other thing is, number one, why did you come to New York from Oregon to go to school?
Hofstra has one of the only publishing programs in the state, or in the United States.
Yeah.
And I want to go into publishing. I love books and reading. So.
Okay. And where's your dog now?
He's back at home, locked in my room.
Here? Is he still here?
Yeah, he's still here in New York.
You going to keep him here
Of
while you're going to
course,
college?
of course.
That's brave. Good for you.
Thank
All right.
you.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okie dokes. Harvey?
You know, Doug, you need to get written ground rules when you move into a place precisely on what the landlord is allowing you to do and not allowing you to do, especially based on what your expectations are. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.